Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. Today we are here with the third unit of the educational technology, that is developing educational objectives. First, I am going to give you the introduction about the unit, that the aim of education is to do the holistic development of a child. Aims are always high and comprehensive, while objectives are the part of aims. Schools play a very important role in the achievement of the objectives, aims and the goals of instructions. Teachers should be clear in their minds about the instructional objectives to be delivered, learning experiences to be organized and the evaluation procedure to be adopted. Finally, to know whether the instructional objectives achieved or not achieved. The instructional objectives need to be expressed in behavioral terms to make their achievement and evaluation tangible. According to E.J. Frost, instructional objectives are desired changes in the behavior of a person that we try to bring about through education. Now, I am going to tell you about the objectives of the unit. The students, you will be able to understand and distinguish between the aims, goals and the objectives of the unit. You will be able to explain the characteristics of the objectives. You will be able to recognize and discriminate between the cognitive, affective and psychomotor domains. You will be able to comprehend how to write the objectives in behavioral terms, identify the characteristics or the qualities of the educational objectives. Now, I am going to tell you about the difference between aims, goals and objectives. Yes, the first I am going to tell you about that aims. Aim is a statement focused on planning. They are long-term and comprehensive, achieved through schools. They belong to education as whole. As far as the goals are concerned, they are tangible strategy. They are usually stated in broad comprehensive terms. As far as the objectives are concerned, they are always specific and describe positive activities. They are short term and of a limited nature. Now, I am going to tell you about the qualities and the characteristics of objectives. Yes, the objectives provide us the direction in which we proceed. Objectives provide the basic for organization of learning, expressing and deciding about the tools and evaluation techniques to be used. Objectives reflect a clear picture about the nature and extent of behavioral changes. Objectives also help in selecting the most appropriate method of teaching. So, it was all about the objectives. Now, I am going to tell you about the instructional objectives are very important in this unit. They are classified into three important domains. The first is called as the cognitive domain, the second is called as affective domain and the third is called as psychomotor domains. First, I am going to tell you about that what is cognitive domain. Cognitive domain relates to a change in the mental abilities, knowledge and skills. Bloom's has divided this into 6 categories on the basis of hierarchy of the mental functions. This categorization proceeds from simple to complex acts. It includes those objectives which deal with recall and recognition of knowledge and development of intellectual abilities and skills. As far as the Bloom's taxonomy is concerned, it has been categorized into 6 categories. First, the knowledge is there, then comprehension, then it is going to follow the application, then it is going to follow the analysis, then synthesis and then finally the evaluation. Now, I am going to tell you about what are the objectives of the knowledge and what are the action verbs which are going to be used by these objectives. First, I told you about the knowledge. Knowledge means to define, to state and to recall. Comprehension means to explain and to identify. Application means to solve, select and use. Analysis means to compare and separate. Synthesis means to discuss and to relate, and finally, I told you about the evaluation. It means to evaluate, to assess and to verify. Here I am going to give you an example of planner writing in a classroom and how to implement your lesson plan in a classroom. Like once you are going to have a planning in the classroom in front of you, and the topic that you have prepared for your the lesson of the day, in which you are going to follow all these 6 points of the Bloom's taxonomy. The first is knowledge. The knowledge means that you are going to take out the feedback from your students about the previous knowledge. Like if you have, if you are a science teacher and you are going to tell them about the topic which is called as photosynthesis. So, first you are going to take the previous knowledge about the topic, that what is the function of the sun, what is the function of the oxygen, from where we are getting the oxygen, from where getting the carbon dioxide. So, it is all about the previous knowledge of the topic. So, this will be your first step of the topic as per the Bloom's taxonomy is concerned. The second, which is called as comprehension. The word comprehension means to explain, to identify, and means the understanding. Understanding of the topic, which is very important for a teacher and for a child. Like once you have gone through about the previous knowledge, then it's mean that you have understanding about the topic. Your previous concepts, they are cleared, and that's why you have a very best understanding about the, or the comprehension about the topic. The third point which is going to be, I am going to highlight here about the Bloom's taxonomy, that is the application. Okay, now you have taken the previous knowledge, now you have understood that the students, they know about the topic, now you are going to implement the topic of the day. Application means to solve, to select, and to use. How you are going to apply your topic today. For example, whatever the topic you have decided for the day, so now you are going to implement the topic. For example, your topic of the day is the same, I would say that what is photosynthesis. Okay, now you have introduced your topic, then after introduction, after explaining your topic, you are coming towards the point which is called analysis. Analysis means the way you have taught the topic, the way you have explained your topic, the way you have described your topic. Now you are going to analyze it. You are going to analyze it, that are your students, they are getting you or not? Have you achieved the topic or not? So, analysis come under all these strategy. Now, I am going to tell you about the synthesis. Synthesis means to discuss, to relate. Like now you have explained your topic, now you are going to have a classroom discussion with your class, and you are going to find out are they getting you or not. So, in the synthesis, you are going to find out through discussion about the comprehension of the topic through your lesson plan. And finally, I am going to tell you about the evaluation. Have you seen, definitely you have seen your lesson plan, and in the lesson plan format, we have finally, there is a portion which is called as evaluation. Once you have finished your lesson, once you have finished your topic, by the end of your topic, by the end of your lesson, by the end of your class, there is the last, the most important portion which is called as evaluation. Now you are going to evaluate, you are going to verify, you are going to confirm whether the objectives have been achieved or not. Whatever you have been taught, your class today about any topic, finally you are going to find out, and you are going to evaluate, and you are going to recap of your topic, whether it is achieved or not. So, in this way, through the process of evaluation, dear teachers, dear students, you are able to find out the way you have taught your topic to your class, it was comfortable for your class or not. Your strategy, your methodology, your style of teaching was comfortable for your students or not. So, by this the process of evaluation, you are not only going to evaluate your child in the classroom, even you are going to do your self evaluation. So, it was all about the best, all these 6 steps, or the 6 categories which is designed by Bloom's. It's very effective for you people once you are going to write a plan, once you are going to design any topic for your class. So, it's going to help you in your lesson planning also. We are going to next start about the affective domain. It relates to change in feelings, growth, emotions, and attitudes. The objectives of the affective domains are concerned with the development of the interest, attitudes, and the values of the individual minor feelings and experiences. Now, I am going to give you the detailed of these categorization. The first, which is called receiving. Receiving means it involves being aware of and willing to freely attend to a stimulus. Responding involves active participation. Valuing refers to voluntarily giving worth to an object, phenomenon or stimulus. Commitment, organization and categorization involves building and internally consistent value system and freely living by it. Now, I am going to tell you little bit about the objectives and the action verbs of this domain. Receiving in the simple words is to accept, to ask and to follow. Valuing means to develop, to attend and to participate. Organizing means to prepare, to add and to find something, and characterizing means to change, decide and to revise. Now, dear students, we are going to discuss about the third domain, which is called as psychomotor domain. The domain which is related to the development or the physical skills of a child. As per Professor Simpson and the Professor Harrow, the objectives of the domains are associated with the muscular actions. It is divided into the following steps. The first step, which is called as imitation, in which the mental impulsion provides the base and the individual repeats the overaction in a simple form. The second is manipulation, in which the individuals follow directions, select specific acts and then process of fixation starts. The third is precision, in which the individual reproduces the desired acts and gains necessary control over it. The fourth is articulation. At this stage, the individual acquires the skills of controlled presentation of the different acts in a coordinated manners and harmony. And the fifth is, that is naturalization, in which the desired acts turned into automatic acts, leading routine acts for individuals. So, it was about the domains. Now, I am going to tell you about the objectives or the action verbs of this the psychomotor domain. The first is reflex movement. It involves the stop and stretch. Fundamental movement involves jump, move and catch. Physical abilities, it involves conduct, start, lean. Perceptual abilities involved balance, discover and explore. And then finally, the skilled movement, it involves drive, play and swim. Now, we are going to discuss how to write educational objectives in behavioral terms. It is very important. There are three important things to keep in mind while writing the educational objectives in behavioral terms. The first is the nature of instructional objectives, that is knowledge and application. The second is the area or domain or behavior, that is cognitive, affective or psychomotor domains. And the third is specific content area. The first, I am going to tell you about the approaches in writing the objectives in behavioral terms. There are three main approaches in writing the objectives in the behavioral terms. Robert Mager's first approach in 1975, he adopted the Bloom's taxonomy for writing the behavioral objectives. Magers has suggested following steps. The first step was describing the important condition under which the desired behavior change is expected to take place. The second was identification of the terminal behavior. The third was desired terminal behavior. As far as dear students, the Bloom's taxonomy is concerned, we know all about this and we have read the Bloom taxonomy in the previous a few minutes back. So, I am going to tell you about the Robert Mager's second approach, which is associated with affective domain, and the third approach which is linked with the psychomotor domain. As we have used the word holistic development of a child, which is a very important aim of the education. The holistic development means it's a complete, it's a fulfilled development of a child. It is an entire responsibility of a teacher that she has to inculcate or she has to incorporate the best education system towards her learners. So, holistic development means the social development of a child, the physical development of a child, the emotional development of a child. So, it is all about the development, the factors of the personality of a child. As far as we have discussed about the aims, you know, the aims are very important to achieve any goal in your life. So, aims, they are also going to play a very important role in life. So, as far as the schools roles are concerned, schools, they are going to play a very important role. Schools actually they are the important source of achievement for everybody. Schools, they are going to play to achieve the goals, the objectives and the aims of the education system. So, here I would like to tell you that teacher should be clear about the instructional strategies, the way she is going to teach in the classroom, the way she is going to adopt the strategies, the pedagogical teaching techniques in her teaching. It is important that she should be clear, she should be confident about her strategy, and she should know that she has to achieve the objectives. And in order to achieve the objectives, the teacher's presentation in a classroom is very important. In the teacher's presentation, the first important thing that her lesson plans should be well designed, it should be well structured and it should be well prepared. And the second important thing is that the way she is going to deliver the lecture in the classroom, her presentation in the classroom, that is very important for a teacher. And because of all these strategies, her pedagogical teaching techniques, her presentation in the classrooms, they are going to achieve and they are going to help us to achieve the learning targets for a learner. So, here it is very important that as far as her first hand knowledge is concerned, her own learning experiences are concerned, she is going to utilize or she is going to she is going to apply all that strategies that she has experienced in her life, in her teaching. So, it is very important once you have to organize a very best lecture and you have to organize a very best classroom teaching, it is important that you have to achieve the objectives. And once you have achieved the objectives through evaluation procedures, you are going to find out that objectives have been achieved or not. So, finally, I am going to tell you about the instructional objectives are very important in teaching, in learning procedures, and the instructional objectives need to be expressed in behavioral terms to make their achievement and evaluation tangible. Because once the things they are not tangible, once the things they are not cleared, once the things they are not very much positive towards the learners, the objectives of the education cannot be achieved. So, dear students, we studied all about these approaches and had gone through the review of the unit also. I hope you will also comprehend the topics in detail. So, see you in the next program with another unit of the educational technology. Till that time, bye bye and Fiaman.